My name is Jolene. I'm a mom to 11, sharing our journey of our family, growth, and brain development. Years ago, I had no idea how much our brains could change, how simple exercises could transform focus, behavior, and life itself. Now, I'm here to share that journey, what I've learned, what actually worked, and how we can make it all happen in a house full of kids. Welcome to 11 Minds, One Mission. Let's get started. So today we are going to do the ATNR, Asymmetrical Tonic Neck Reflex. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to test it. Even if you don't see it positive in all 3 ways, then it's still there. So every time I show you how to test one of these, sometimes you won't see it in every way that you test it. Okay, first way. We're going to have him close his eyes, feet a little bit apart. Have you put your arms in front of you, wrist down. I'm going to turn his head and I tell him to keep his arms straight. Try to keep your arms in front of you. Turn this way. If he rotates his arms, then it would be a positive. I'm putting straight again. Keep your arms straight. So as you could see, he's going a little to the left when I do the left side, which then in other videos we'll go into that is adding to the left brain weakness. Okay, so this is how we test it too. So your arms up. Now we're going to show positives. When I turn his head, his arms like this, we call that a 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it's a 4, he would be severe. Or anyway, and you go towards a weakness, but that's going to be a whole other video when we're separating left versus right side of the brain. So that's the first way to test ATNR. So the next way is on hands and knees. I'm going to have him close his eyes again. Close your eyes. When I turn his head this way, if it was positive, I would see this elbow bend down. Do the same. You probably can't see that side. I do it at least 3 times. And it's because sometimes you won't see it the first time. So even if it's barely moving, 1, a little bit, 2, 3, and then some of them go all the way down, 4. So this is an easy one. So try this on your kid right now. Get them on their hands and knees. Turn their head. If you see this bend, that reflex is there. Whatever side the back of the head is facing, that's the elbow that I'm looking at. I don't tell them what I'm looking for, or they will try to lock their elbows. But if it's a reflex, it's really hard to fight it. Anyways, his isn't there. Third way. So just like the last video when I was explaining how I was holding his head, this one is different as when I'm turning his head this way, I'm watching for this shoulder. If this side, the opposite way, is going up, then it would be positive. So if it's not moving, it's negative. So now we're gonna show you positive to this, and then shoulder will go up. That would be a positive. So now we're testing the third way for the ATNR, separate from when I was doing the Morel last week. So now we're going to show how to get rid of that reflex if you saw any of those positive for your child. First one, we call it the lizard. So there's 2 different types of lizards. One is when he's facing his arm. A lot of the times then I have to move their body for them because they're trying to figure out what I'm trying to ask them to do. Okay, so we're going to tell them switch sides. So a lot of kids, when I'm starting, I actually have to put one arm and one leg down and do the other one and then turn their head. So I have to do that for them like the first 3 or 4 sessions, and then after that they could do it themselves. But for him, switch sides. Position right, remember. Switch sides again. Switch sides again. Once this gets too easy, then I have them do the reverse lizard, which is now going to face the opposite side of his arm. Okay, switch sides again. Okay, so now we're going to pause here. Stay right here. Now we're talking about co-activation. I would suggest everyone get one of these. They're a Rezzimax, because as he's doing the lizard, I like to be using this down his spine, but it's because I'm doing a different reflex. So the one on his spine is the spinal galant reflex, but we will be going over that one next week, and then down is STNR. But moving forward, every video during the exercises, you're going to see me use one of these. So I would suggest that you get one. Okay, so another way to get rid of the reflex, the ATNR, is having him do rock climbing. I do not have one of those. Just think about anything that is mimicking crawling. The other one we try to do is have them crawl on the treadmill. There was some patients that we had to have 3 technicians holding them and helping them crawl on the treadmill because they haven't crawled before. They're like 7 years old, and we had 3 technicians, 1 moving the legs, 1 moving the arms, and 1 holding their body for them. But if that reflex is stubborn, I do use our stim pod, which is the first time you're going to see me pull this out. So now this is how I think of it. I have 3 different tools here. The Rezzimax. So think of this one is the natural way to get rid of these reflexes or activate them. If they're a baby, you're going to be seeing a video of me using this on the infant this week. Laser. Now you're doing some medical intervention. Now we are using this. If we're not getting the results that we're looking for, now we are forcing the results. Natural way, now medical intervention, now we're going to force it to happen. To use the stim pod, I connect it to his body. We're going to get it all turned on here. I learned this one specifically from Dr. Jerry Levine because we would bring her down, or she would help us with the patients that where we hit roadblocks. She would come and help us figure out what's going on. I don't always use this on every patient because a lot of the times just doing the exercises and laser, then that will work. We're going to put it on the right side of the tongue. When you hear it beeping, it means I got a connection, and it's green, so it knows that I have a connection, and I will hold it on here for about 5 minutes. If you don't have a stim pod, this will also do good on the tongue, so try to aim this on the right side in the back. They're still separate, obviously, but this is better than nothing. So we tested it in 3 different ways. We did 3 different types of exercises: lizard, reverse lizard, and then also shocking the tongue in the back right corner. If you don't have these, at least use a vibration. So now we'll talk about the questions that you'll ask yourself as an adult. And if you answer yes to any of these questions, then I would highly suggest letting someone test you. First one for ATNR, the ones that you're going to ask yourself is poor handwriting, difficulty reading and tracking, left or right confusion, difficulty copying, ADHD, OCD characteristics, missing parts of a line when reading, difficulty catching a ball, or at sports, dancing, or bilateral integration, common. In adults, there may be chronic shoulder or neck problems, eye-hand coordination difficulty, judgment of distance may be affected. So that one's like if you're driving and you tend to stay close to the car in front of you. If you answered at least 50% of this as a yes, then I would highly suggest letting someone assess this reflex. And there you go. That was the ATNR. I do highly suggest that everyone have one of these. Every single video that you're going to see me do any kind of therapy on, you will be seeing this. I did not need it for the Moreau. I'll have the link in the description. They'll give you a discount. I believe it's $50 off. At least adding this is better than just doing exercises alone, but exercises is better than nothing. You want to look into it. They have a lot of different kind of protocols of things you could use this for, more than just the reflexes. That's everything that I had on the ATNR. I honestly think that people with autism or dyslexia, they are some of the smartest people that I ever met. The only time we ever get involved is if that is affecting them in a negative way. So if these are affecting your child in a negative way, then at least try these different exercises that I'm showing you. Next time we are going to be going over the spinal galant reflex. Okay, we'll see you next week.